This has been an ACB community call.
This Unmute Presents community call was hosted on Tuesday, 5 September 2023.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Unmute. Good to see everyone here. We got a bunch of things here at the top to quickly go over. First thing, as usual, want to make sure everyone knows we're going to take all first hands. Once we get through all the first hands, then we'll take second hands. Please be respectful and let everyone have the same opportunity to get their questions answered with the same respect that everyone would want their own questions answered. With that being said, the first announcement I have is next week, 1 week from today, we will actually not be here. Unmute will be taking the day off due to the big Apple keynote event where they're going to be announcing supposedly new phones and a whole bunch of other stuff. We don't actually know until they actually announce it, but that's what they're saying. So we're definitely knowing there's new phones along with other things. So we will not be here next week. But stay tuned and we'll bring you back all the information from the Apple event and tell you guys all about what the new things are that they announced. Also, I wanted to let everyone know there's been changes in the feed. We've been getting a lot of questions about this and why is things being moved around. So in short, basically here is the quick version. We are merging, or have merged, I should say, with IAcast. And so all of what this means for you guys is not too much, except for a couple of shows are being changed around. So if you want to get everything, you want to get every single thing that gets put out, all of the podcasts, all of the everything, then you would want to subscribe to the IAcast network feed. And there you will just get every single thing that comes out. You can also listen to the IAcast radio and all the things will be posted on there after they get published in the podcast form. So you can listen to the radio and just have Unmute IAcast all day long. There'll also be some live stuff that'll be cutting in there as well. So from time to time, you'll hear us cut in and do some live stuff on the radio station as well. And the Unmute feed now that you're subscribed to, you will only get in the Unmute feed itself is going to be this after we go off the air, Tuesday's show. That's going to be published as a podcast a couple of hours after we go off the air here. Then you're going to get all of the Thursday shows and all of the Sunday shows. So that's what you're going to get now in the Unmute feed. If you want anything else, you can either subscribe, like for example, Friday Finds is going to have its own feed starting this coming Friday, but it's also going to be in the IAcast network feed if you want to just one thing and just get it all. So yeah, lots of things going on, lots of great stuff. We're super excited. We're going to have some other big announcements coming here in the near future. Stay tuned for that. There's also going to be a podcast coming out Thursday, both in the Unmute feed and in the IAcast network feed, talking all about all of these changes and what's happening and what's going on. So that'd be a good thing to listen to get updated there and find out all of the details of all of the changes and happenings going on behind the scenes with us. Lastly, the question of the day is, do you use an OCR scanner? If you do, which one do you use? Either on your phone or your iPad or even maybe your computer. What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? So you can let us know there. And as always, Michael Babcock's with us. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing well, Marty. See, your announcements are getting longer too. It's just the way of the game. I'm going to go over the recent episodes that's been published to the IAcast network, and Marty explained to you guys what else was going on with the Unmute feed. So if you hear something, you're like, this doesn't seem familiar, remember, you can check that IAcast network feed out to get everything. Yesterday, Demasi and I sat down and published an episode on Technically Working called Pizzas, Phones, and podcast progress, if I can talk today. Sat down with Demasi and had a chat about that. And then on Sunday, Unmute Presents published an episode that was me showing you how to do screen recording on an iPhone. And that was primarily targeted at individuals looking to record what you're experiencing on your iPhone. So you can send that information to app developers, because as we all know, sometimes sending information to app developers goes nowhere, it sometimes seems, because they don't understand the problem we're trying to express to them. So it's a good lesson to learn that. Friday finds empowering tech with a question mark, social media revamp, and canine, robotic canine. And I stumbled over that because I'm like, I think we already talked about this, but that's what happens when you do a couple of other shows. So check out Lynn's episode of Friday Finds. On Thursday, we published an episode called Echobatics, and we are exploring the Echobatics app with Gary and Mia. These individuals created an application, full transparency. They provided us some test licenses that cost $9.99, but allows you without LiDAR to use your finger and your hand and gesture or point at printed material. Their example is with touchscreens in order to interact with that information. You'll want to go give that episode a listen, because there's some interesting things that Gary brings up that's part of what's going on with the new feature and how the Echobatics app stands apart from the Magnifier app and the advances coming to that in iOS 17. On Wednesday, we published how to reset your Blind Shell Classic 2 to factory settings on the Shell Phone Show. And then Michael published on VO Starter, Season 1, Episode 3, how you can stop voiceover on your mobile device. There we go, Marty.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's hopefully everyone got all the information they need for one morning. And with that, if you have tech questions, go ahead and raise your hand. Or if you want to answer the question of the day, you can raise your hand for that. And it looks like we have some hands. So let's try and get going here.
All right. First up, we have Beth.
Hey, Beth, how you doing?
Okay,
Beth,
now I'm.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. My unmute is not in the right or left corner, like she says. But I was wondering. I have a little trouble using the calendar on the iPhone. Like, if I want to write a certain date, like just say if I have an appointment on a certain day in September, just say it will go like September 1st, September 2nd. It wouldn't take me right to that. I couldn't find the actual date. I want the appointment. Like after it says add, like the title, like if you want to say appointment with so-and-so, it will just say like September 1 first, and then it would say 1 p.m., 2 p.m., all that kind of stuff.
I have two suggestions for you. Oh, go ahead. Finish your comment.
Also, the location, I write current location, and I tried to write my address, but it will say there's no directions to that address. So I would instead write the appointment, the address to where I'm going. And it always says clear text. It never says clear text on the other items like travel time and etc.
Are you just using the regular calendar app that's on your phone?
Yes.
So you could try using Siri and speak it if you want. That might be easier. So you could say, Unmute presents Tuesday at 10 a.m., something like that. If you want to try that, might be easier for you. The other thing I would suggest is there's actually an app called Fantastical. I'm pretty sure they still have a free version, and they have a great feature on there where in the text box, all you have to do, you can either type it straight out or you can speak it straight out with dictation, and you can do the same thing. You just make sure the cursor's in the box, and then you say, Unmute presents Tuesday at 10 a.m., something like that, or you can type it out as well. That might be easier for you. And actually, Fantastical will also sync with your regular calendar that you have on your phone. So that might be an easier option for you. Michael, you got anything else you want to chime in there?
Fantastic how?
Yeah, C-A-L. Fantastic Cal. C-A-L.
Oh, is that one word?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So I would give that a try. That might be a little bit easier for you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, next up we have Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, guys. How are you today?
Good. Thank you.
Certainly. OCR scanner. So I use Seeing AI on the iPhone.
Right.
And I know this is ancient And but yeah, on the desktop, I still use a flatbed scanner, and then use JAWS to to do the OCR stuff.
Whatever works. I mean, if it's working for you, there you go.
Yeah. I need to either wired or wirelessly send video from my iPhone to a monitor.
Apple TV.
Ah,
Because what you can do if you have the Apple TV hooked up, you can just share from the device that you're using.
yeah.
So if you open up the video, there's going to be like a little share button, and then it will take the video that you have on your phone and put it up on the TV that the Apple TV is connected to.
Well, I mean, that would be, I did not give you enough information, Marty. I'm trying to avoid hashtag first world problem.
Yeah.
My wife wants to watch our beloved Chiefs this Thursday, and she wants to watch it from the swim spa. So I've been tasked with figuring out, and I just don't want to like haul a Apple TV down there. Like I was hoping for maybe like a
Bring an iPad down there.
solution.
Put an iPad there so she can watch it on there.
Yeah, we don't have an iPad.
Maybe an old laptop or something.
You
I
could
don't
also
know.
try a Chromecast. I think either way, you're going to have to get some sort of device to be able to send the video from your phone to the display.
Okay, like a Chromecast will work with iPhone.
It will work with the iPhone if the app supports it. And not knowing more details about the app and stuff like that, that might be something to consider. But yes, I have used Chromecast devices to send video from my iPhone to a display, but the app supported it.
Sure. Okay. Well, I will see if the Channels app supports that feature. Thanks very much, gentlemen.
No problem.
No
Interesting
problem.
you bring up Channels, because Demasi and I just talked about that yesterday, and that's an app that I know nothing about and I am learning about this week. So
It's glorious, Michael.
that's what I hear. So I will play with that and definitely share my findings. So thanks for that, Jeff.
Best of luck.
Desi, who do we got next?
All right. Next is Ryu.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi there.
Just how you doing? I want since I'll be using a website for because I have a thing in New York State called self-direction. That is where you go out in the community with somebody that you hired or anything like that. And now I'll be using a special website like Provision Care to get funding or reimbursements or to track my staff's hours. And I'm worried about that the website is not accessible. Like I'm worried about it not being accessible. And I was just wondering if I need to, which laptop you would recommend, because I have a Mac and I don't know if that would help me with doing doing what I need to do.
How old is your Mac? Are you using VoiceOver on it? And how
Yeah.
old is it?
It's 2017 13-inch MacBook
And
Pro.
are you updated to the current operating system or no?
Yes.
So you're having issues with the website not reading all the elements to you? Is that kind of what's happening?
No, it's just that my biggest fear is the website that I'm going to be training on is not going to be accessible. That's
Yeah,
my big.
I would contact whoever you're going through to do that training and ask them if you can get in there and test around, go around and see and make sure everything works for you. Otherwise, see if there's something that they can do to accommodate you.
Or what laptop would you recommend for Windows so I could test it with JAWS rather than using VoiceOver? Because it's a lot of key commands and things, and sometimes I just want to use one key to navigate.
So I don't have a specific recommendation for a Windows laptop. I would say anything that's an i5 or newer processor with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM should be good to test it on. And of course, you can test with NVDA and JAWS. I suspect, though, with clear communication with the organization that's putting the training on and with the organization that provides the website, hopefully you'll be able to get through that. And you will know more once you actually get in there and start trying it. So I would clearly communicate your concerns with the people you're working with.
I will throw this
so
out
you don't-
there for everyone. This is for you, but also for everyone else. If you need a I would say not necessarily top of the line, but a solid Windows machine. Computers for the Blind has a really good program going on right now where laptops are $50 and then you can upgrade them. They have some upgrades, on the hard drives and the RAM. They come with a year of JAWS for free, and they come with JAWS training. So that would be a really good option if you need something like that. They have Windows 10, and they're really solid. So I would give them a call and find out if that's still going on. But it was the last time I checked a couple of weeks ago. And so if you need a secondary, it's not going on anymore?
It's not. It's $200 now for the computer.
Well, yeah, for the laptops as well. They're still that's over.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well,
still $200 to get a year of JAWS when JAWS is $95 a year, and the laptop makes a pretty good deal for checking that out. So,
yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
No worries, Desi. Who do we got next?
All right. Next is Chanel.
Hey, Chanel.
Good morning. You can hear me, I assume? Hello. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I have to unmute in both. Well, guess it's still morning. I don't know. Anyway, my answer to the question is a lot more complicated now because seeing AI is getting better. It used to be just so slow, but it's gotten better. If I need to actually scan text, like scan mail that I receive, I might use a voice stream scanner, which is now called VD Scan. Otherwise, I use a combination of Seeing AI and SuperSense for just kind of the on-demand, I want to know what this is now type thing. And I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to say I am enjoying now the kind of the pleasure of using iPhone apps on my Mac. It's been
pretty
kind
cool,
of fun.
right?
Yeah,
definitely.
So that's all I had to say.
Thanks, Chanel. We appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Is your as long as we got you on here, is your Mac class all filled up, or are you still accepting people, or what's going on?
No, it filled up. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well, it looks
thank
like
you.
you'll start building a waiting list for the next one.
Definitely.
We get people all the time asking, and we send them to you, but you're already filled up.
Yeah,
so.
and I just realized I should give you I will send it, and it can be given out publicly. If anybody is interested, they can always write to mactraining, all one word, .ibugtoday@gmail.com.
Cool.
That is a public email address, and that's where you can go get more information.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Who do we got next?
Next, we got Pam Coffee. Good morning, Pam.
Pam
morning,
Coffee.
Pam.
Good morning.
Good. Actually, it is afternoon. It's just after.
We always like to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Here. Got you. To answer your question of the day, I use a combination of things. I have an old standalone scanner that is called Sara, Sara. It's about 11 years old. I don't use it as much now. It's way out of date, and I don't know if they even make updates for it, but I have it that I use occasionally if I have a whole lot of mail or stuff to go through, and it will scan in background. You can be reading page 1 and scanning page 15, 16, 17 of your document at the same time.
Okay.
But I mainly do OCR on my phone now. I use a combination of Seeing AI, Envision, SuperSense, and Voice Stream. And if one of them doesn't work for a particular document, one of the others probably will.
Pam, I have a question for you.
And a lot of it depends on if I'm saving material or not. But I hope that answered my question. And I hope this isn't too much off the topic. A heads up, there is a weather app out there that is, it's not the native weather app. It is all of a sudden it's not working. And when I went to their help section and it took me to their website, apparently someone was spoofing their website. And my question is, if that is happening, even once they get the app working, should that be a red flag? I mean, if their website got hacked, does that mean that once the app itself is up working, that it might be stealing my information? Is it that easy for an app website to get hacked?
Anything these days is possible. I mean, we just don't know. A lot of times there is information going from the website to the app, but also there's a lot of times where the app gets its information separately and independently from the actual website. You just don't really know what's going on in the background. So I would say if you're suspicious about something, delete the app off your phone and keep on moving forward.
Well, I've already reinstalled it, and that was a big mistake because it wouldn't even let me set it up again. Like choose the units, the weather units, and choose my current location, all that kind of stuff. It wouldn't let me do any of that.
I would move on, honestly.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of other weather apps out there. So I would just move on if you're suspicious. Delete it off your phone and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of those weather apps have a pricey subscription. Thanks.
Who do we got next, Desi?
All right. Next, we have Jane Suh.
Hey, Jane, how you doing?
Doing well. Let's see, OCR. Oh my God, years ago, I don't know if Belkin still sells this stand anymore, but I bought a Belkin stand that folds up. And it's not one of those, cardboard looking stands. This is a pretty solid tablet stand if you are like me. And I struggled for a while to line up the phone with the camera. Somebody mute, please, with the camera.
I'm going to mute. No, honey. Go.
Can someone mute, please? Whoever is unmuted. My question is on the Mac. What is Stage Manager? It's in the Control Center.
So it's basically a way to kind of multitask. So what'll happen is it'll bring up like on the screen, it kind of looks like a square. And on the right side, it'll be the app that's in the forefront that you're using currently. And then on the left side, the apps that you have in that interface are smaller, and you can shuffle through any of those apps and bring them to the forefront. So say like you have Safari, Mail, and like a text editor going, right? The main one in the forefront will be on the right side and you're working in it. If you want to switch real quick, then you can go to one of the smaller icons on the left, click it, and it will make the app, say like you were in Safari and you wanted then to make notes or something. The Safari would move over to the side, notes would come into the forefront, and you can shuffle through them like that. And you can put whatever apps you want to put into that interface so that you can kind of shuffle through them and you're working only in that window without having to go back to the applications folder or go down to the dock or anything like that.
Okay, that would be amazing if it worked with voiceover.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be updating in this next operating system that's coming out. So it's okay now. I'm curious to see what kind of updates they're going to add to it. And also with accessibility, if they're going to make it any easier for voiceover users or any other accessibility features as well in this next iteration of Mac operating system.
I can imagine myself using this.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of easier just to tab through everything, honestly.
Sure, it is. But wait, did you say this is a grid? It's a grid of icons?
It's more like a vertical on the left side, and then the one that you're working on is on the right, opened up. So smaller on the left side, and then bigger in the front, the one you're working in. I know it's kind of confusing if you don't really have a visual of it, honestly.
And I've not played with it. It reminds me a lot of virtual desktops on Windows. I don't think it plays that nicely, but where Marty is coming from is a great productivity boost. And Jane, play with it. Let us know what you learn about it. Thanks for your question. Desi, who do we got next?
All right. Next is Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, Michael. So I hope this is a good place to find out this information. So, as you know, I got a Victor Stream 3, so I'm struggling to get it up and going. I mean, I got the Wi-Fi connected. I actually managed to do something. I don't know how I did it. I sort of followed the instructions, but I was watching a thing on YouTube. It wasn't a tutorial. It was just something somebody was showing. And I managed to actually get a new voice, and I like it better than what I had. But this, I don't know how I did it. But anyhow, I'm trying to figure out how to get stuff like connect to Bard, so I can get my books downloaded, blah, blah, blah. And I've looked for tutorials, but they only have ones that are for the one before this one, the Victor Stream 2. Does anybody know of any tutorials for the 3 yet on how to, because when I'm listening to the user guide, it's so long and it's telling me stuff I don't need or want or they're not getting to the point with it, and it's getting on my nerves.
Gotcha. Is that the one that Mystic Access put together? Do you know? Because I know Mystic Access was working on a Victor Reader Stream 3 tutorial.
Yeah, I think that just came out like a week or two ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was all I know, it was a guy. I think it was that, because I did subscribe, because they're doing a pretty good job, but they don't have. He did like an unboxing, and then he did a comparison, but he never did one where an actual tutorial. I haven't seen that yet.
I don't have the link for you offhand, but if you drop us an email, I think I can find this link, because I may have already found it, but I want to verify. I don't think it's going to be a short to the point one. I think they are going to go in depth, but at least with those tutorials, you can go through and find the section that you're looking for. So if you want to look for how to connect your Wi-Fi, then you can go find that section in the tutorial.
Yeah, and that's fine if it's something I can skip through. Because like, the user guide, I'm like, okay, can I skip through this, or am I going to skip over something I need? So yeah.
Yep. Shoot us an email, feedback@unmute.show, and I will find this tutorial and get it over to you. Okay.
Feedback@unmute.show.
Yes. No.com. Just feedback@unmute.show.
All right. I'll send you a note. Thank you.
Who do we got next?
I think I was muted. Sorry. Next is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing?
Jerry, it says your audio is muted.
He did have it unmuted earlier, and I needed to mute him. So I'm sorry about that, Jerry. But
so you'll need to unmute Jerry. If you're on Windows, hold the Alt key directly to the left of the space bar and press the letter A like Apple.
I'm gonna unmute it.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, Michael, I was wondering if you could give me the steps. I have a blind shell phone and be able to download the Bard books.
So I will give you a quick rundown of that. I'm working on some prepackaged Bard material that we will share more information about later. So we are working on getting a recording of this. But how you go once you're logged into the Bard application on the blind shell, you have 3 tabs. Actually, there's 4 tabs across the top. You want to find the Get Books tab and press OK. This then takes you to a menu that you can download books from your wish list. You can download books from the most popular or from the newest. And if the book you're looking for is not on any of those categories, there's an option, which is the very last option on the Get Books tab, that says Visit Bard website. If you choose that, then you can search for a book by its title or author, and then choose the Add to Wish List option. And once you have it on your wish list, you can download the book from your wish list under the Get Books tab. And as I said, we are working on some recordings to simplify that. But first, start in the Get Books tab and see what you're able to get there.
Thank you. And how many books are you allowed to download once you get that?
I believe it's either a 30 or 100 book limit within 30 days. So you would want to check with the terms of service with Bard, because I don't know the exact numbers.
Thank you so much, Michael.
No worries, and thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Who do we got next there, Desi?
Michael, it's 100 book limit.
Thank you, EG. Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
EG.
Desi, you are muted.
I am so sorry. I was not planning on hosting this hour, and I'm trying to deal with an Instacart order, so I keep going back and forth.
No worries.
Okay, Diane is next.
Hey, Diane.
Hello. Oh, I remember learning something in Chanel and Herbie's Mac class about, I thought they said that you could press enter on the Mac if you knew that the button you were wanting to push was the default. And I needed that information today and I couldn't remember it. So I'm wondering if anyone can confirm me if there is something you can do so that you don't have to go swiping all over the screen if you know that the button that you want to press is the default button on the Mac.
Does anyone, Marty, do you have that answer? Because I do not. I always locate the button with VO end. I believe you should be able to press enter, but
yeah,
I can't confirm
what you
that.
do.
What, Marty?
I do the same thing you do.
So
okay, so you can get. Okay, yeah, I guess you could get to the button by pressing the. Did you say the end key?
So I have a full size
end key.
Yeah, so I have a full size keyboard with the home and end keys available on it. So I hold the VO key, which I use caps lock as my voiceover modifier. You might be using Control Option.
I actually have both.
Okay, so I hold the VO key down. I tap the end key, which takes me to the last button on the screen. 95% of the time, that is the default button. And so I just press VO space at that point. Otherwise, I'll use my VO left arrow to get to the other button that's likely on that screen. And as I said, you might be able to hit enter, but I don't want to tell you that and then it not work. But that's the process I use to get to the
Michael,
button.
this is Brad, and she's correct.
Okay.
But you want to make sure you're correct because sometimes, you know.
Well, because the button you want, you might not be remembering what you might not remember.
Correct.
Remember that your button is the default. You're saying.
So you can press enter then to activate that default button. And I need to try to do that more. That'll save a little bit of time. Thanks, Brad.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Of course. Who do we got next?
All right, next is Nolan.
Hey, Nolan, how you doing?
Press CMD plus tilde to reach pop-up and lower hand. Marty Sobo, computer mute my audio
Nolan,
button.
is that
CMD plus tilde to reach pop-up and lower hand.
Your voice
my audio
voice
shift
is
hand
coming
8.
through and
You are currently on a button.
loud.
To click this button, press Control Option
Let me
space.
fix that.
Press CMD plus tilde to reach pop-up and lower hand.
So you just turned all of your audio all the way back down, it sounds like.
Yes.
So
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Press CMD plus tilde and lowered.
So I have been noticing how I've been noticing a little bit of a is there actually a voiceover keyboard command to stop voiceover from announcing who's coming in and out of the meeting?
No.
Zoom.
There's not, as of right now. Zoom is aware of that being an issue. The best solution that people have found is if the Zoom meeting host disables the chat, then a lot of times some of that verbosity does not speak. But even if you go into the preferences of Zoom and down to accessibility and uncheck the boxes there, it still provides you those details using your system voice.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I've realized that earlier, and I do need to apologize when I was coming through using the mixer that I have.
Patty Jarrett has left the meeting.
Oh, see, that is doing that.
Yep. Yeah, so it is doing that, and just so for your reference in future, and then I'm gonna jump onto the next call if you don't mind.
Sure.
Your Zoom audio is still coming through, so we're hearing those announcements. You may want to check your audio settings.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Nolan. Desi, who do we got
for
next?
your help.
Yep, you're good.
All right, next is iPhone.
Hello, iPhone.
iPhone.
That might be me. It's Lynn.
That is you.
Hey, Lynn, how you
Hi.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, for my OCR, I usually use Seeing AI or Voice Dream Scanner for mail and stuff like that. But I wish I could read books with it. I do use Kurzweil, but they haven't updated it lately, so a little worried about whether it's going to work with Windows 11. So, my question though is, do they have a I have a Mac Mini with an M1 chip, and I heard that I couldn't use that Amadeus Pro. I haven't used Amadeus Pro yet. I want to start using it. I heard that they don't have that I can't use that with an M1 chip. Is that true?
I don't have Amadeus Pro. You could probably look it up on the manufacturer's website.
Go for it, Chanel.
Yeah, this is Chanel, and the Amadeus Pro, I just did recently get an M1 Mac. Well, actually, it's an M2. What happened when I downloaded Amadeus is that it asked me to run this app called Rosetta, which basically works for apps that are, it makes older apps compatible with the M2 Macs. But actually, some people get Amadeus Pro from the App Store and don't have any problems. I had downloaded Amadeus Pro from the website. So you might, if you're concerned, I purchased it on the website and that's how I downloaded it, but you might also try the App Store.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I would also suggest looking on the manufacturer's website as well. They might have some information on there.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks so much. That was my question. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, next up is Janet.
Hey, Janet, how's it going?
Hello. I don't know if Donna is still here or not.
Yep, I am.
Okay. Michael D did and Taylor did a demo of unboxing the Victor Reader Stream 3 on the iCast Radio. And I think there should be a podcast in the podcast part of that app.
Yep, there is an unboxing, but I think she was more looking for a tutorial and not an unboxing. But I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, I already did the unboxing myself.
Yeah.
Oh well,
and I got your email by the way.
She also went through on how to set up her Wi-Fi and stuff too. So
perfect. Well, thanks for sharing that.
I guess if you have any questions, you can write to ACB and see if they can get a hold of me, and I can maybe try to help you.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
Thanks a lot. Desi, who do we got next?
Next, we have Nora.
Hi, Nora.
Hey, Nora.
Yeah, hi everyone.
How's it going?
I'm doing great, and I hope you're all doing great.
We're doing good.
That's good. Now, I have to talk to my carrier, but I was going to try to see if I can get I'm on an Android phone, and I'm going to try to set up my voicemail, which is not easy.
So you're having problems getting your voicemail from your Android phone?
Yeah, getting it set up so I can call out, and so that people could call in, and can learn how to.
Who's your carrier?
Safe Link Wireless.
Okay. I don't know what Tower Safe Link Wireless uses, but there is some ways to just call into your voicemail. You shouldn't need a different application or tool to access your voicemail. And if you haven't called them, I'd recommend reaching out to them, and they can help you with getting your phone programmed properly with that voicemail.
Oh yeah, right. And also, thank you. And also, I'm on my settings. When I go to settings, I tried to hook my hearing aid. I have to talk to my hearing aid specialist, but I tried to hook the Bluetooth to connect to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have Bluetooth turned on. Oops, got me up by mistake. I got Bluetooth turned on, but on the screen it says Bluetooth not connected.
So when you turn Bluetooth on, you have to put your hearing aids in pairing mode, and then you would need to tap on the hearing aids. And if they don't show up, then it is possible that they may not be compatible. In that instance, I'd reach out to the manufacturer of your hearing aids and ask their support team to help you with getting those connected to your iPhone appropriately, because they may also be made for iPhone hearing aids, and that process may be different as well.
That's possible. Maybe not for Android, but
correct.
Everything else is connected. Like I'm on Aware Widex, and I click on the button right here. Whoop, I'm touching the wrong stuff. Uh-oh. Oh, that's me.
So what I would do there, Nora, is I would reach out to the hearing aid manufacturer, because they won't have to guess about what it could be. They can tell you exactly what's going on and how to best get them connected. Okay.
Yep. Okay, great.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Of course. Who do we got next there, Desi?
Jane is up next.
Hey, Jane. How you doing?
Hello, this is Jane. Good afternoon. I'm from Cape Cod. This is my first time on this call. It's very interesting. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome.
I'm an older person and new, so I have kind of a stupid, dumb question. But anyway,
There's no stupid, dumb questions, first of all.
My stupid, dumb question, I have two of them, is I have an SE 2020, and I want to delete messages. I want to delete in Safari. I want to delete something that I have like on my favorites list. I don't want it there anymore.
Gotcha. So you want to delete one of your bookmarks off of your Safari. Have you tried to, are you a VoiceOver user?
Oh, yeah.
So highlight the bookmark and try flicking down on that bookmark and see if delete is an option there.
Okay. That's the easiest way to do it?
That would be the easiest. If you're not able to find it there, then there should be an edit button that you tap on, and then you go find the bookmark and then delete. Once you select it, delete will be available towards the bottom of the screen.
Okay, because I tried calling Siri to ask it, and it was too complicated. So I said,
yeah, Siri won't be able to do that.
And the other question is to delete an app that I already have. The same
So
method?
if you go on where the app is and you put your finger on it and you flick up until you hit edit, then you flick up until you hit delete. And then what's going to happen is it's going to ask you, do you want to delete this app? Or do you want to just delete it off the screen that you have it on? Because if you choose to just delete it off the screen, it'll just move it into like the app drawer where all the apps on your phone are. It's not actually going to delete.
Oh, no, I want to get rid of it.
Device. Right. So you want to make sure that you hit the one that says delete from device, and it'll give you a little warning pop up. You say yes, and then it will actually be completely gone off of your device.
Okay, can I reload that at some time if I want to?
Yeah, you could just go back to the app store and then you find the app, and then it will give you the option to reinstall it.
Thank you. Made me feel easy about asking my silly, dumb question. But I also want to make a comment, if I could, about the computers for the blind.
Okay.
That was a special for ACB convention. However, they did honor it until the end of July because I got mine and I paid $50. It's the best electronic device I ever paid for $50. It took me 3 weeks to get it. I love it.
You can't even get JAWS for $50.
You can only if you get the 100. If you do get it, get either the JAWS or the Zoom text 1 year. Don't tell them you're going to get NVDA because they'll do a demo, and that's what I did to me. And I didn't do it, and I said, no, I don't want to do that because otherwise I'm probably going to eventually download NVDA. But that way you'll get either one of them for a month or whatever. I mean, for a year, and it will take 3 weeks to get your computer. But I love it. Absolutely wonderful for $50. Hey,
yeah, it's a great deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I came with Office. And I also
and you
have
get JAWS training with it as well, I believe.
If you have a technology problem, you can hit that prompt and they'll walk you right through it. So
cool.
Just an FYI.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay, next up is Petra.
Hey, Petra.
Hey there.
How are you?
I just had a quick question. I wish Pam would have told us which weather app wasn't working because I downloaded one only about a week ago that I really loved, and this morning it didn't seem to be working right. And I'm wondering if she was doing the same one I am. So if I need to delete mine or just wait for mine to get fixed.
Pam's still there. Pam, yell out the name of the app that you were having trouble with, the weather one.
It's called Weatherology.
Yep, I'm having trouble with the same one. Damn it.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Pam.
It's just not working. Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Petra and Pam. Who do we got next there, Desi?
All right. Next is Doc.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, Doc.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Every once in a while, I have a problem when I move an email to an archive folder that it takes all of my inbox from that folder down in one fell swoop. Now, is there any way I can find them, but is there any way to move them all back in one fell swoop, or do I have to do it one by one?
You can move them all back in one fell swoop. When you realize what happens, the first thing I would do is hit Control Z and see if undo works to undo it moving those. If that doesn't, then go to where they archive them to. Use the Shift key and your arrow keys to select all of the messages you'd like to move back, and then press Control F10 or Applications key and locate the Move and then Inbox, and that should move them back to your inbox.
Great. Thank you.
No worries, Doc.
Okay, and we, excuse me, are at 11 minutes before the hour, and Anne is up next.
Can you hear
Anne,
me?
how you doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have an answer. I don't remember who asked this question, but I've done it before and it works. If you don't want to hear who's coming in and who's leaving, I have found that you can turn speech off and it won't stop the call with 3 fingers twice, and it will just stop everybody coming in and everybody going out. And you do the same thing, press it again, you can turn it back on, but you won't have to listen to everybody leaving and coming.
That is a great tip on the mobile phone when you are in Zoom. If you don't want to hear that so-and-so is talking or so-and-so is left or came back, just use a 3-finger, and you said double tap, correct, Ann?
Yes.
Double tap that. That'll say speech off, and that'll turn your speech off, and then you can silence those alerts on the phone. So thank you, Ann. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ann.
Desi,
All
who do
right,
we got
and
next?
next we have Beth.
Hey, Beth.
Yeah, I was going to say, just a minute. I was going to say the same thing. She could turn, whoever asked that could turn the speech off. But I was going to ask about the podcast, because when I went in one time, I got a podcast. I don't know when it was. This travel agent named Katie, who does this. She's a travel agent.
Magical Moments is where she's from. She's got her own travel agency. Katie White is her name.
It's so is that the late? That's not you actually talking. So how would I find the ones with the ones of the shows for today, like today and?
Yep. So to answer your question there, what you would do, Beth, is just search for Unmute Presents, and that'll get you this show. It'll also get you the Thursday episodes, which Katie is doing one of the Thursday episodes, and we'll make an announcement on the Unmute podcast feed if that changes and other shows break out into their own feeds. But right now, if you want to get today's show and that show, subscribe to Unmute Presents.
Okay.
Thank you, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
No worries.
Beth.
And appreciate it. Who do we got next there, Does it?
Okay, Eugenia.
Hey, Eugenia.
Hello, I'll try again. I was saying hello.
Now we can
and
hear
I
you.
was
How are
muted.
you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. About on the calendar, when I write the event, and then I use the home calendar, and it gives my address for all these virtual calls. It writes my address, and it drives me crazy. I have to listen to that every time that I check my calendar. And I tried to delete that, but it didn't work. I can delete it, but it doesn't. It still reads my complete address on the suggestion that they give you.
What do you mean your complete address? Typically,
My
you would
home address. My home address.
Oh, on the calendar it does that?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I deleted, and then when I save it, it still was there.
So if I'm understanding correctly, when you add an event to your calendar, it's also adding your home address to that event, and you don't want that to be the case, correct?
Correct. And it does it only on when it's for a virtual call. If I have I need to go someplace, only if I write the address where I'm going, it will read it to me. If I don't write it, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't say it. Only the name of the event and the time, etc.
Gotcha. I will need to play with this because I don't have an immediate answer with you. It may be worth looking into a third-party tool. I, full transparency, am very fond of the Fantastical app that Marty brought up earlier, because I can customize the information that I get, and I can have that ease of access to enter information onto the calendar. I will play with the default calendar app, and if you come back next week, we can and remind us of it. We can let you know if we were able to figure out a way to change that behavior for you.
It's going to be in 2 weeks. I'll be at the conference.
No worries. Just remind us, and we'll
I
get
know.
back.
Yes. Yes,
Thanks a lot, Eugenia.
Okay, and it's one more thing on the calendar, please. If I when you want to invite somebody to an event or, an appointment, I can do it. I can accept one without a problem, but I cannot send somebody an invitation if I'm for the appointment.
Yeah, play with Fantastical over the next couple of weeks. I think that'll make your life a little bit easier. Because all you have to do is that person's name to the calendar invite when you're creating it, and it'll give you an option to send them an email.
Oh, okay. I will try that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
Okay, and we have Roberta.
Hey, Roberta, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. I have a question regarding, when I ask Siri for a phone number to an establishment, Siri refuses to give me any information unless I turn on location services. I choose to keep location services turned off, but Siri will not provide me a phone number to an establishment without it. Is there any way to override that?
I would suggest that when you're trying to get a phone number with Siri, what you would do, what I've noticed you can do is say like you're trying to get the phone number for Starbucks, like closest to you, right? You could say, call Starbucks, and then it will bring up all the options that are closest to you. And then the one you choose will call it for you.
Not if you keep location services off, and that's where the problem is rising. Is it can't see where you are, therefore it can't tell you what the nearest location services are.
Siri doesn't know where Siri has no idea where my phone is located. Yeah.
So the best way that you could, what I would try is say, call Starbucks, or what's the number to Starbucks in XYZ city or on the street. I doubt that's going to work for you.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So yeah, to answer your question, probably not. You could try using another voice assistant on iOS and not giving that location and seeing if giving it a similar command would work. But I can't think of a way to make that work without giving it location.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Alrighty. Do we have any other hands?
We are clear.
There are not any hands right now.
Perfect. Well, you want to wrap it up, Marty? It's 57 after.
Sounds good. Let's do it. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. We want to remind you we will not be here next week. So no unmute 1 week from today. We'll be doing the Apple event. We'll bring you back all the information from that. And hopefully there's going to be lots of good stuff. Thank you, Desi and Brad, as usual, for all your help. You guys are awesome. And everyone have a super great week. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody.